Okay, let's see. This is a 1-year-old smartphone, but I still prefer to use it over this, the S20 Ultra. And today, we are going to talk about it. The first thing really caught my attention is that massive uninterrupted screen. This 1440p display is running at 90Hz and there's no notch, no hole punch, nothing. It's an absolutely beautiful display. And just to add one more thing, it's an HDR10 display, so if you watch a lot of movies and videos on your phone, make sure you try this phone out because you would really love it. This phone is really well built. It definitely feels like a flagship. It falls a bit on the heavier side, so that's something to keep in mind. And I've dropped this phone face down countless of times and it's still fine until now, but I would still recommend you to use a case on it because it's very slippery. A few weeks back, I was rocking this phone without a case. I felt a little brave, and then this happened, so do me a favor, just put a case on it. So let's talk about looks. Of course, looks are optional, but in my opinion, I like the way this looks. Maybe a bit too rounded on the edges, but hey, it's just my opinion. My color choice for this phone is this beautiful gold, which makes it look a little more elegant, I think. That's not what it's called. Sorry, what was that? It's almond. What almond? The color, it's called almond. Oh my god, seriously, who even cares? But that's the name. Shut up, dude, I'm gonna call it gold. Anyways, sorry guys for that, let's talk about something else. Yes, processing speed. This phone is still blazing fast. I mean, in fact, I feel like this phone is faster than my S20 Ultra. Okay, you'd probably be thinking that's a bunch of BS, right? Let me explain. Of course, the S20 Ultra has the better processing speed, a higher refresh rate, and it's most probably faster, but it doesn't feel like that. Now that's the problem. A well-executed animation will actually give you a sense of speed and smoothness, and at the end, that's the one that matters. It's what you feel, right? While doing simple daily tasks like launching application, calling, messaging, etc., if I'm gonna be completely honest, I enjoy doing it in this. It feels smoother and faster. Keep in mind that I'm just comparing my experience with the S20 Ultra because I've been using it for a few. I know this is not a comparison video, but I'm just sharing my experience. And Oxygen OS is one of my favorites. It's as close as you can get to stock Android, but the thing that I like about Oxygen OS is you get this customization options. For example, you can individually tweak the status bar and you can change the accent colors, you know, all the little things. But even with all this, it manages to look minimal. It doesn't feel bloated, you know, like other operating systems do. It ties in with the theme of this phone really well, which is sleek and simple. Well, the battery life of this phone is not great, especially if you're running at 1440p at 90Hz all the time. It will get me through the day, but if I'm feeling like I need to top up, I'll plug it into my OnePlus warp charge brick for a few minutes and I will be good for the day. And this almost makes it up for the fact that it doesn't have wireless charging. So even with the not so great battery life, I'm still happy with this super fast charging speed. Yes, of course, you're not getting the Snapdragon 866 that you have with the OnePlus 8T, but as far as I've been using it, I've yet to find an app or a game that doesn't run smoothly on this device. But nothing is perfect, so there are a few annoying things about this phone that I like to mention. First, the proximity sensor is very unpredictable and it really pisses me off all the time. Second, the gallery app is not one of my favorites, so I just stick with Google Photos. Third, there is no memory card slot, but there is a dual SIM card slot if you want to use it, but you can't add any memory if you want. So, with that out of the way, we can now talk about the camera. The camera is not as good as the real flagships, but it's still a very decent camera. The dynamic range is acceptable, sharpness is very good, colors are also really nice. Seriously, the OnePlus color science is surprisingly really good. But the ultra-wide lens is noticeably softer than the main shooter, which is really a bummer. The telephoto lens though is surprisingly quite good. It's not 2x, it's not 2.5, it's actually 3x, which is more useful of a focal length in my opinion. The pop-up front-facing camera is also decent. Just keep in mind that it is a moving part inside your phone, so it is most susceptible to damage. If you drop your phone though while the camera is out, it will retract and protect itself from damage, so that's good to know. And another thing I noticed is there's a lot of detail captured with this camera, so you can really push the photo to the limit while editing. As you can see, I've pushed these photos as far as I could and it's still looking fine. I mean, the photos are completely different than its original state. If you're wondering, I did most of my editing through Snapseed, so you would be surprised how powerful it really is. Anyways, as for video, if you pair it with an app like Filmic Pro, you can really get professional looking image. Again, I'm really impressed here because I was not expecting good camera from a OnePlus device. I shot this using my OnePlus 7 Pro on a gimbal, and you might not even know that it's from a smartphone unless I told you guys. It's impressive, it's really impressive what's going on here. So in conclusion, the OnePlus 7 Pro is a really good product, even in 2020. It looks modern, it has a beautiful screen, and it's blazing fast, and honestly, I think it's a better buy than the OnePlus Nord. And even after using a few flagships, I still love this device. So that's it for today. Have a nice day. Bye.